Hi everybody, I'm back again with another video. This time it's something completely different. Moving away from the hot toys and the D&D gaming, I thought I'd show you one of my favourite games that I'm playing at the moment, board games. It's called Zombicide, made by Guillotine Games. Basically what you have to do is you've got a group of survivors. There's 6 that come with the game. There are 3 other characters that they did release, but they're really hard to get hold of on eBay at the moment. But so you start off with 6, and the whole point is for these survivors is to run around the towns avoiding or killing zombies, try and stay alive as long as possible to achieve their objectives. Now there are 10 different scenarios in this game, plus a tutorial one. What I've done here is I've chosen scenario number 10, called Small Town, and the whole point of this is the survivors have to get to 4 different objectives in order to win the game. As long as one survivor is left alive by the end of the game, then the survivors win. So what I'm going to do with this video is just a quick run through of the setup and a few of the rules, and then in the next video I will put the figures on the board and we will start with the first couple of turns. So there'll be probably about 6 or 7 different videos, a couple of turns on each, depending how the game goes. So you can see how the game works, and I will go through the rules all the while I'm playing the game. So if you don't understand them on this first video, don't worry. Watch how the game is being played in later videos, and hopefully it will all become clear. I might make a couple of mistakes because I'm no expert on this game, but I play it the way that I've interpreted the rules. So what we've done first of all then is I've set up the map pieces that are shown in the book, and this is comprised of 4 tiles. Now a tile, if I show you, is that 1 square block. That is what you call a tile, whereas in between the walkways, that's 1 space. So if you had a figure here and you wanted to move 2 spaces, then it's 1, 2. Okay, so that's tiles and spaces, and that does become very important when targeting monsters or spawning monsters, but hopefully that will crop up in the game, so that will be explained a little bit more. With rooms, you've got rooms here. Now this room, because you've got walls here, that counts as 4 spaces. Whereas this is 1 space because it's just 1 room. This one here, 2 rooms, there's 1 there and 1 there, and again on this side 2 rooms. Now the scenario in this quest requires that you use these 4 tiles. It tells you which tiles to use. They've got numbers on them, 5B, 2B, so you just pick them out and then arrange them. You've got 4 spawning points. This is where the zombies will come into the game when it's the zombies' turn. You've got 4 objective markers, so this is what they've got to get. The figures of the survivors have got to try and get, and you've got doors. This is a door piece, so on one side that's closed, that's opened. All doors, unless stated in the quest, will be closed. So there's 5 or 6 different doors here that they've got to go through. And the 6 characters, I've decided to use all 6 in this game, so you can see how they all work. So you can see on the character sheet, I'll do as I'll show you up close, you've got 5 card slots.
first 2 card slots are what the character is going to be holding in his hands. So you've got left hand and right hand, and the 3 at the back are spare slots that go in his, like a backpack or in his pockets, whatever. And you can move these around throughout the game, or you can trade cards that you've got, weapons that you've got, with another survivor, providing you're both in the same room. But I will show you that when that happens in the game. Each survivor has 3 actions that they can do on their turn. Now, 3 actions is a combination of moving, fighting, searching, or trading weapons, or rearranging their pack. That's the different things that they can do. Another action is required for collecting things like this, or opening doors is another action. And also there are other points in the game that if you've got a zombie in a room and a person in the room, it will cost you, if you wanted to go, say you had a zombie here, another person here, and you wanted to come out into this slot, instead of it being 1-2 moves, it would actually be 3, because you need to spend a move to get away from the zombie. So that would be 1. Second move would be there, and your third move would be there. So it would take you 3 actual moves to get out, unless you are this guy, Josh. As you notice here, all characters have got special abilities. Now you all start off in the blue zone. Every time you kill a zombie, this marker goes up. So in the blue zone, you automatically start with what is written down next to the blue arrow. Now Josh has got slippery, which means he wouldn't need to spend an action to move away from a zombie. He can just slip past them. When his experience goes up into the yellow zone, not only does he still keep this one, but he gains an extra one. This is +1 action, but I will explain those during the gameplay. It's a lot easier when you see it in motion. Wander, 2 zones per move action. Because she's got roller skates on, if she wanted to move 6 places, because she's allowed to move 2 zones, so she can actually move 6 spaces. Because these are the zones, remember, I called them, they're zones. So if she wanted to move from there all the way up to that end, a normal figure couldn't do it, because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. But because she can move 2 zones per action, that would be 1 move, that would be 2 move. So you can see what I'm saying there. This guy, Ned, has 1 free search action, which means he can do 3 actions, either moving or attacking, and then he can have a free search. If he uses a search in one of his 3 actions, he cannot use this. He can, because you're only allowed to use search once per character per turn. So really, this guy can have 4 actions. He could say move twice and attack, and then he can search. But you can only search inside buildings and when there isn't a zombie in that room. If there is a zombie in that room, you cannot search. If there's a zombie in that room and you're in this room, you can search because there's no zombie there. Phil starts with a pistol. So what you have to do with Phil is you go through the equipment deck, which I'll show you in a minute, and you equip him with a pistol already at the start of the game. So he's a good character to have. Doug, matching set. Now this means if he's already got a pistol here, he searches and finds a pistol, he automatically gets another pistol, because he's got matching set, and that is very handy when fighting. You will see that happen in the game. And here you have Amy, who has one free move action. So basically she can perform 3 actions and then a move if she wants to as a 4th action. So that's the different action points, the different skills that each of them got when they start. Now what the game states before you start a game, unless otherwise stated in the quest, you have to take out the 2 Molotov cards, the Evil Twins and Mars Shotgun. They always have to come out, plus you always have to take out a pistol, a crowbar and an axe. And depending on how many characters you got, in this case we have 6, so you have to fill up the other 3 spaces with pans, and you have to put those into a pack and shuffle them, and you deal them out to these characters, but we'll do that in the next video. What I want to show you now is weapons. First things first, this zone here is showing you a zombie. That means this weapon can be used to attack zombies only. And this symbol here is a noise counter. So when you fire your gun, you're going to create noise. And what you have to do is you have to get one of these noise counters. If you had a figure in this zone and he shoots a zombie, even if he misses him, you still have to put the noise counter in that zone. And what this means is zombies, if they can't see any people, no people in their line of sight, they will always move towards noise. Now that becomes more important when you've got lots of zombies on the board, and so you'll be able to see that more in action when you're actually playing the game. Also, with this card, there's your dice roll. So that is telling you that if you've got this weapon equipped, you can only roll 1 dice. That there is your distance, so 0 to 1. So that would mean if you've got a person in here, you can actually shoot a zombie in either this zone, because that's the 0 zone, or 1 zone away. So you can actually shoot one, as I say, either here, in that zone, this zone, or this zone. You can get ranged weapons that can shoot further, but I'll come into that, I'll show you that during the gameplay, because that can be a little bit complicated. This slot here with the 4+ tells you you have to roll a 4 or more to hit what you're aiming at, and this zone here tells you that this gun will only do 1 damage. Now zombies have different values. You've got 4 different types of zombies. You've got a walker, a runner, a fatty, and abomination. Walkers and runners only require 1 hit to kill them, so this gun can kill walkers and runners. A fatty requires 2, so this gun is no good against a fatty. An abomination is 3, so again this will not do any damage to abomination. You'll have to find another method or another weapon that's either 2 or 3 to kill abominations. The only thing that will kill an abomination is this Molotov. Let me show you Mars Shotgun here. That's got a 2 on it, so that means that will kill walkers, runners and fatties, but not an abomination. Other things to note, let's show you another weapon, crowbar. Now if you notice here, it's got 2 pictures. It means it can attack a zombie, but it's silent. so it won't create a noise counter, won't create any noise, so that's good. Also, a crowbar, as you can see here, can open a door. You need to spend one action to open a door, but it automatically opens the door. You don't need to roll the dice, and that won't create any noise whatsoever, whereas the fire axe will actually create noise when opening a door. Fire axes is a melee weapon, so you can only attack anything in the same zone as you, same as the crowbar. So they're really hand-to-hand weapons. And then you've got the trusty old pan. You can kill zombies with it, but you need to throw a 6 or more. Well, obviously it only goes up to 6. So the pans aren't very good. You need to get rid of these and try and find weapons. Just show you a little bit on the card here. Just going to give you an example. You can fill up all these spaces. So he's got 3 pans in his backpack. He's got a crowbar in one hand and a pistol in another. When you search, if you've got a full pack, you search and you come up with something like a fire axe, you can actually get rid of one of these pans and just throw it away and replace it with the fire axe. Or if you've got 2 survivors in the same zone, that could either be here or in a room, you can spend one action to trade. So you can give him, say you've got Wanda here, she's got nothing. You can, if you want, you can give Wanda a crowbar, which will put your pan back in your hand. So Wanda has now got a crowbar. That won't cost her nothing because you've given it to her. And you're now left with your pistol and a pan, but it's giving you an extra slot. So you always got to try and help each other out as best you can. That's the whole point of the game, is cooperation. So I think that's basic rules. Say each figure has 3 actions, and in those actions you can, if you want, you can move 3 spaces. You don't have to move 3, you can move 2 or 1. You can attack, so you can attack 3 times if you didn't want to move, or you can attack twice and move, or vice versa. You can search, but you can only search once, and then you've got 2 more actions to use up. Or you can trade, or you can open a door, or as I say, collect the objective that you're after. Zombies, on the other hand, when all the figures have gone, you had their go, the zombie phase then starts, and the zombies have 3 phases. First phase is attack. Now, zombies can only attack if they're in the same zone as a survivor. If there's no survivor in the zone, then the zombies move on to their next phase, which is move, and they can only move 1 square unless it's a runner. The runner can move have 2 goes, but it can only move once, and he moves either towards any human in sight, in his line of sight, or to the nearest noise marker. And the other phase is spawn, which is when you draw one of these zombie cards and you point to the first one. You should say, right, I'm going to spawn one there. Lift the card up, and because all the people are on blue at the moment, you look at the blue, it says few, none are spawned. If the highest guy was on yellow, then it's 2 runners. If he was on orange, 2 more runners, and if he was on the red zone, 5 walkers would appear. And you do that for each zone. That then will be the end of the zombie turn, and then it's back to the survivors. If a survivor uses an action to open a doorway, once he's opened it, immediately every room you have to spawn zombies. So you point to a room, you point to, right, I'm spawning in this room first, you lift over a spawn card and you put the equivalent zombies in there, and you do the same for that one as well. In 4 rooms, obviously you'd spawn them in all 4. You've got wound cards, which are these here. If a zombie attacks you, doesn't roll any dice, he automatically hits you with a wound, and he takes one of your equipment away. You get to choose which equipment he takes, and you replace it in the pack with a wound card. Once you get 2 wound cards, you're dead. That character is dead and out of the game. There is a certain card that will allow you to get rid of a wound. I believe it's the ski mask. Prevents you from getting a wound. I'm not 100% sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can. And in certain situations you might be able to get rid of a wound, but it's very, very rare. There are cars in this game as well, whereas if you want to get into a car it will cost you an action point, but you can actually drive the car up to 2 zones, and anything in the way you run over it, and you roll the dice to see if you kill the thing you run over, and that includes survivors as well. You can't avoid them. So cars are quite good, and in the cars is where you find the Evil Twins and Mars shotgun. Molotov cocktails, you get them by, in the equipment pack, which is that one there, you can have an empty bottle and a gasoline can. So if you've got an empty bottle and a gasoline can in your pack, you can combine them, throw them away, and put the Molotov card in your pack or in your hand. Same with ranged weapons, which are things like rifles, which can shoot 2 or 3 zones away from where you are. You can get a sniper scope to put on the rifle that will enable you to target anybody you want in the square that you're aiming at. If you haven't got the targeter, then you have to shoot the figures in a sequence, which is survivors first, then walkers, then fatties, then abominations, and then runners. So the chances are you could end up killing one of your own mates and still have all the zombies powering down on you. So you have to be careful when doing that. So there you go, that's just a very quick sort of overview of the rules briefly. Probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but it will do as I play the game. I will explain what I'm doing as I'm going through it. So bear with me, and I will be back with the figures on the board where they start from, and we will go through the first moves of the followed by the zombie move, and that will be the next video, and then the second and third move will probably be the video after that. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys later.